In many episodes of the latest show, we talked about AI agents. I invited Hammad Hussain from Oracle. I hope the pronunciation is correct because he deals with this topic at email levels. So, welcome, Ahmad. But let's start with an important topic. We have entered in the era of agents, but what are you really seeing now?
Yeah, I think we are in the agentic era, that's for sure. If I had a penny for every time I heard the word agents, I'd be pretty rich. I guess it's an interesting thing. I was in one of the a forum with CXOs and CIOs recently, and the question was, how many of you are using agents today, right? And people came up with some answers, etc., for the next 5 minutes, and at the end, the answer was that nobody's actually implemented agents, right? Nobody has done it. Even those who gave a few examples, they were not agentic, right? They were like good generative AI use cases, but not agents. And I think we have to understand what agents are, right? At the end of the day, the agents are somebody who you have given agency to or control to. It's not an automation, right? You have to give control to them. Now you can always have a human in the loop, but what you need is a program that does the does the planning, does the strategy, does the execution, and executes it with your permission or without, right? So those kind of use cases were never there, and this is why a lot of clients, they actually think agents as automation, and they've never implemented this. So a lot of my clients, unfortunately, they are often stuck in what we call pilot purgatory, right? So they have agents or even AI use cases, but that none of them has gone to production, right? And this is a very important topic for us. The how of implementing, I personally believe, is more important than what agents can do, right? And this is where we're working a lot.
Okay, and I saw that your Oracle AI Agent Studio allows for human approval. Okay, so this is a critical action. Okay, for everything, and it works with all the application inside Fusion. Okay, is it good or not?
Absolutely. I mean, look, exactly what I said. The whole Oracle AI strategy is, if there was one thing I could say about it, is how to help clients scale faster, whether it's AI, whether it's agents. Fusion AI Studio is our flagship product at the moment, which actually helps scale agents quicker. Now, how does it do that? Right. Number one, it it is natively integrated, which means you don't have to take out data somewhere else. You don't have to create a new program. There's no other software. It is built in within our Fusion applications. Right. Secondly, it has got access to the data in context. That means if you're creating an agent about benefits, if you're creating an agent about, let's say, payroll, right? It has the access to these kind of objects within Fusion, which means who is the benefit belonging to, what are the various fields that we hold about a benefit of an employee within the organization. It can take all of that and use it for whatever purpose, right? And finally, it is it allows for the business users to create their own agents rather than wait for a technology department or a IT function to decide the technology, build a bespoke agent, and they have got huge backlogs. So wait for them to create something. The business knows what they need and what is the priority. And if they have the ability to create some kind of an agent themselves within the guardrails, right, which is set by the organization, within the governance, which is set by the organization, then that all you can think about it, it all helps to scale things fast. Remember, the idea, which as we started the conversation, is how to help the business or enterprise users to make full use of agents at scale and at speed. So this is our product, which definitely helps that.
So we can go from put the idea, okay, into action. So
To reality, yes,
so this is a key point. So the business needs, okay, we are inside Fusion application, and you can use all the data, all the application inside, and then from an idea you can create actions. So this is
absolutely.
a key point to understand, because it's not so easy. It's not so easy to explain. So you are here
Yeah,
for it.
yeah. I would add one more thing, right? Agents are what I call like interns, right? They have to be guided, but they can work on their own, right? Think of it as a digital employee, right? So that's, if you could create digital employees quickly who are productive and at scales, the business knows what they want to do, then it will be beneficial for the business, right? It can unlock immense potential. But we need to give that ability to the business to do that very, very quickly, right? Rather than playing catch up, they want to be ahead of the game.
And what kind of expertise we need to use it?
Well, if it's Fusion AI Studio, I think it's embedded in Fusion, it's native to Fusion. You just need maybe a few videos to understand how it works, to understand a few concepts like what is a business object, which I gave you an example of, like benefits is a business object, purchase order processing is a business object. So these kind of, so some concepts, they need to do a little bit of prompts understanding, but you know what, not too much, because the Fusion AI Studio itself can generate prompts based on your description. You say, I want an agent who can do XYZ, and it will generate a prompt, then you can modify it. So honestly, nothing more than what a Fusion user is already doing. A few training videos would be good, and a bit of guidance from our team or from the technology department would be useful.
And there are some pre-built templates.
Very good point. Very good point. Yeah, absolutely. And essentially, what we have done is, again, the whole idea is how can we make people use AI and agents as quickly as possible. So we have provided hundreds of templates which are pre-built. So for example, I told about benefits. So there is a benefit advisor there where which you can literally pick up and make some small tweaks. And suddenly you have an agent which can answer anything about what are the benefits that I have, how can I increase my benefits, how can I discuss my benefits, who's my benefit representative. You know, typically I remember in Oracle, I myself, I use this. Um, and I myself use this feature. Previously, it used to take 2 days to answer some questions on benefit, right? I remember asking an email saying, okay, is my wife, has she got an access to physiotherapy? I asked the agent at the same time. I got an answer about it 2 days later, but with agent I got it 2 minutes, and I compared those answers. They were exactly the same. So life has moved on. The fact that agents are already changing the way we work and getting the answers to us quickly, making the actions quicker. And yes, we've got lots of templates. We can use a lot of them. Benefits agent is already a template that is provided, for example.
Okay, and the last question is about the human. You say so. You said that the human is on control. Okay, but you can create an agent that controls some other agents and so on. So what do you think about the critical actions?
I think you have to be you have to assess the risk and materiality first of all, right? So agents can be used for many things. They can be used for, let's say, answering some questions based on policy documents, right? What is the risk? Low, right? And what is the benefit? Quite high. As I told you, I get an answer in 2 minutes rather than 2 days, right? But there will be things which have got higher risk, right? So for example, a lot of If you want to use an agent to fully automate recruiting and almost make the decision for hiring as well, that's a risky proposition. Plus, it goes against some of the AI acts that are available in EU, right? So that is a higher risk, right? Is it material? Yes, it is material because it has an impact on the organization, as well as the, if you get it wrong, there will be a cost impact, not only from an organization point of view, but also from a legislation point of view. So I think whenever we see a case, we have to be very quick at understanding what is the risk, what is the materiality of it, and what is the benefit or impact of it. Once we have these three things, then we can judge whether we need human in the loop. And if it is absolutely, if it's a high risk thing with high material impact, then we should have a human in the loop at the moment.
And I said the last, but I have another one. Can you can imagine some impact of operational processes in the future? Because if you have some other colleagues, the digital colleagues, what do you think about it?
Oh, so impact assessment is very important to us, right? And I think it's important to note that AI has created a lot of promise in the industry, right? There is a grand vision of how AI can improve productivity, how what AI can do in terms of effectiveness. What are the things that it can do which humans couldn't do or always wanted to do but never did? Now, we are living in a world that there is a little bit of a dissonance, right? So the promise hasn't lived up very well because of the problem that I was highlighting, because people haven't been able to scale beyond pilots down to production, right? So we have a lot of skeptics developed as well, right? So it's in such a case, how do you continue this momentum? The one way we think is, number one, make it easy to scale, which is what we have talked about, right? Fusion AI Studio is one way to do that. The second thing is making sure that we understand the impact of AI, right? AI will not tell you what impact it had, right? What we need to do is we need to be very clear on what is the business outcome that we are expecting, whether it's an AI, whether it's an agent, right? What is it trying to do? Are we trying to make things more productive? Are we trying to reduce the time to hire? Are we trying to improve estimated time to arrival for an inventory, etc.? We need to be very very clear on that. And once the agent is in I pilot and more importantly production, we need to assess that, right? We need to constantly gauge what's happening and refine. It's almost like a um, flywheel, right? We need to understand how it provided, how it impacts the business outcome. Did it achieve it? If not, why not? If it did, how can we replicate it and make it even better? So, for example, in one UK retailer, right, we saved thousands of hours by implementing an agent which actually answers a lot of questions based on complicated documents, which a store manager always has to answer, right? They have like 2,000 plus stores. Everybody spends about 4 hours of central office time answering those questions. Suddenly you've got 8,000 hours saved just because by placing an agent. So there is a clear business outcome, and the agent lived up to its expectation, right? Eh, Another example would be for one of the clients, which is one of the biggest hard disk manufacturers in the world. We improved the forecasting of inventory, or actually time to arrival of certain parts from 64 to 93%. Now, imagine the kind of dollar impact it would have. So, at the end, what I'm talking about is have a clear business outcome to start with. Number two, have a clear plan to measure the impact that is actually attained or achieved by an agent. And number three, based on the answer, whether it's positive or negative, refine refine the whole approach, make the agent better so that you eventually achieve that business outcome.
Absolutely. And we talk about everything. Okay, fusion, agentic. Okay, but there's an engine is about large language models. So
Yes,
what
yes.
what kind of them are you using now?
Sure. I mean, look, at the end of the day, Oracle has a very clear cut strategy, right? We are one of the top infrastructure player, right? We've got data centers which are optimized or let's say designed to work with AI, right? That's why Grok, OpenAI, you must have seen in the in FT recently as well, a $30 billion deal done on Oracle infrastructure. All the LLMs provider, they are using OCI, right, as one of their cloud provider because we're optimized for it. If you go up at the top, the Fusion and back office application, which is basically Fusion, and the GIUs or the industry vertical applications, right? They're all infused and embedded with AI, right? In the middle, we have got services, AI services, etc. But when you talk about the data, and we are world class when it comes to data, right? Managing data, autonomous, etc. But when it comes to LLM, our strategy has been simple and it is paying dividends now. We don't want to create our own LLM, right? However, we want to work with all the LLM providers to give the choice to the consumer or let's say enterprise user, right? Which LLM they want to use because of two simple reasons. One, one LLM is not good for everything, right? There are different LLMs, small models, large models, which are and specific purpose models. So there are different LLMs for different use cases. And secondly, we don't want to go into an LLM war. We don't want to spend a lot of resources. We want to benefit from all the innovation that all the LLM ecosystem is providing. And that's why we offer all the LLMs that an enterprise would want. Some of them are Oracle optimized, which means we have worked with those LLM providers in detail to make sure that they're perfectly running in Oracle and perfectly embedded in our Fusion applications like Cohere, uh, Llama, we have got OpenAI, etc. Whereas others, we all provide it as a service, right? You can even bring your own LLM to our infrastructure or even Fusion applications. So we are very agnostic when it comes to LLM as a strategy, and it is working brilliantly for us.
Okay, thank you, Hamad, for this interview. There are good points that you have touched and during this interview, and then go on.